Hello there. Today I'm going to show you alternatives to mIRC or mIRC, depending on how you pronounce it. mIRC is a client for Internet Relay Chat. And if you're going to download it now, you will get an evaluation copy. It's usually shareware that was easily overcome. But now you got to stay with this paywall. And why? Why? When you got free alternatives. So I'm going to show you these free alternatives. And I have compiled a list for you. And I'm going to start with HexChat. Here we have a HexChat official webpage. And I'm going to download Windows 64-bit installer. The 32-bit version will probably work too, but why make it so exciting? It's about 10 megabytes. And I just click through this and upcoming installations. See here, you can get this one as portable. That's nice. And here we got the setup or configuration. Got some settings. And here I can pick network. And it already got the settings for Dalnet. So I'm going for Dalnet. That's it. See if it's connecting. You can see here the server name and the IP address to the server, and also what kind of port number we're going to use. And 6697, that's very common. And that's it. Let's see if we can get the list of channels. I will browse the channels first. Let me choose a channel that doesn't have that many users. It will be quiet. You can pick that one. Join channel. Nothing happens. Okay, I double clicked it instead. We can shut down that window. So now we're in a channel called IRC. And here we can see my username, TechDanne2. Meanwhile, I'm going to run mIRC at the same time, and you will see how we will get another username here as well. Of course, this is just to test the clients, and it's not something you normally do. Yes, and here we got the mIRC. And it's this evaluation copy. Run it. And see, I picked this nickname instead, TechDanne. And we pick the Dalnet server here as well, and then connect. When it's connected, I will join the same channel as before. Now is the mIRC client connected to the Dalnet server. Let's join IRC. Okay, this channel is protected. You may need to wait 30 seconds before being able to talk. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see both here. TechDanne, I run it in mIRC, and then we got TechDanne2, I run it in HexChat. So I can go and send something. See, this mIRC support something called DCC. So you can like sending files. See here now, changing color, and now we're back in HexChat. On IRC, the server will usually display a host via reverse DNS that corresponds to your real IP address from your ISP. When you connect through a VPN, as in this case, it will instead show a host corresponding to the VPN server's IP. Else someone would easily hack me. Some sort of trade-off with the IRC. With a VPN, your visible address is the VPN server's, reducing the risk of unwanted attempts. And it looks like it's some sort of Amazon AWS server. Yeah. Let's go in here. And now I'm going to see what we can do in HexChat. See here, it's a little bit different. It's more obvious. Send a file. Yes, it's even a little clearer than mIRC. And this is like regular IRC functions and short commands. I don't think that I'm admin, so well, I can't do so much. I can't kick TechDanne number 1. See if I test to do it. Okay. Of course, nothing will happen. Let's see what else we can find in HexChat. It's very clean and got all the common functions and commands. So see if we go over here, preferences. What can we change? As expected. So it's very intuitive and clean, but it might not have everything you want if you're a pro user. Let's go for the next IRC client. Yes, and let's go for AdiIRC. Let's download it. Here we got the 64-bit installer. You can also find it as a portable version. Here we can change the settings. And I will call this client or user for TechDanne 3. Let's find Dalnet. Here it is. Yeah, of course. That's it. Okay, got a pop-up here for channels. Press get list to get a list of channels on this server, or enter channel name you want to join in the text box below. Okay, get list. And let's sort it. And we find IRC. Okay, here it is. And we can join it. Of course, you can do all these stuff and functions with commands. But I want to see how the GUI looks like. Here we are. Okay. So they present it like that. Why? It looks like they mapped it wrong, but yeah. Maybe it couldn't pick the username. Yeah, but here this is probably the same DNS to IP address. And let's go. Okay, do it like this. See, it looks very much like mIRC. Okay, this is nice, but not really necessary. See, it's working. We got options. Okay, plugins, themes. And scripts. Here we got some commands. Yeah, pretty decent. I like it. Yeah, let's go for the next one. Yes. Now it's time for Pidgin. First I will download it. Here it is, almost 8 megabytes. I will just do the default settings in the install. And you'll see got no shortcuts, so got to fix it. That's the installer. Here we got the Pidgin app. So okay, it's the setup again. Yeah. Let's create some shortcuts. It will be easier with this one. Here we got it. Now it's connecting to something. Or this is like a IM client, so it's really not a IRC client. It remember server address for Dalnet. Yeah. It's very different, this application. Let's join a chat. Don't need any passwords since the IRC channel at Dalnet is public. Join. See here you can add a body. So if you're connected to Dalnet, you can add your body's username. Since I used this before, it remember it. Let's add TechDanne 2 also. See here now. See, we got the channel somewhere here as well. Here it is. It's not so easy to use this application. So we are buddies with TechDanne, TechDanne 2. You can add TechDanne 3 as well. Let's do it like that. Yeah. Very nice sound effect. But it's very obvious that this application is not only for IRC. Okay, some plugins, file transfers. If I go over here, see, doesn't understand why it looks like this. Can't do so much. Send a file. Okay. Well, I will not send anything. Yeah, but probably it would send it to TechDanne 3. Join a chat, okay. Well, you can see that the GUI is a little bit different. So let's do the last one. Let's try out the last client. It's Nettalk. Nettalk is fertig. Yes. It's ready. Let's download it. And it's about 2.5 megabytes. They call setup for setup.exe. Funny. Maybe it's a virus. So here is the application. Let's do a new connection. Down here we got some Dalnet servers. I can pick any one of them. Let's take that one. See here, got like 4 different nicks with TechDanne. So let's do TechDanne 5. Yeah. Five. Password. This is not necessary. Not now. So now it will automatically join IRC. Let's go over to mIRC. Okay, so it's Nettalk. You see this background, same over here. This looks a little bit strange where you write, but else it's okay. If I right click, okay. Not a lot of short commandos. Okay, here I can do something with colors. Options, okay. Some settings here, okay, nice. Support plugins of some sort, script. Yeah. You see everything shows up in tabs. It's like a web browser. Friends. I don't know. Well, send file over DCC, so it supports some sort of DCC. And menu over here, okay. A little bit strange GUI. Yeah. So if I want to send a file, how do I do that? There, okay. Yeah. And then I can write the name. Yeah. Seems to work. This is a little bit strange. They call rooms. But this is a channel list. Can be both good and bad. Okay, to myself, let's write the first TechDanne. Yeah, it's working. It's a little bit different and maybe not so easy to use compared to IRC. So, let's move on. We'll also take a closer look at file sizes and processes. Yes, here you can see the file size of the file is to download for the setup. The biggest is HexChat. It's over 10 megabytes. And then it's Pidgin. It's almost 8 megabytes. And then it's mIRC, almost 4 megabytes. And then it's Nettalk, is almost 2.5 megabytes. And then it's AdiIRC, or AdiIRC, well, almost 2.5 megabytes. The install size can vary greatly, but the original size gives an indication. Otherwise, it is available as portable. I have seen some portable versions or installations along the way. Some have promoted it as if it were something unique, but upon closer research I have found that all are available as portable in different versions. If you just get hold of the right setup file, you can install the client on a USB stick. Sometimes the same setup file is enough, and otherwise it's a separate one. I also want to show you the processes for these client apps. They have been running for a while and it looks like this. Let's take HexChat, 11.3 megabyte RAM. ADI gets almost 64 megabyte RAM. mIRC gets almost 31 megabytes. Pidgin, 15.2 megabytes of RAM. It's not much to talk about. Compare that with Google Chrome over here. Right now over 200 megabytes, but it's very common that web browser takes up to gigabytes depending on windows and tabs you have opened. A whole discussion about IRC client system requirements is getting ridiculous. For example, they usually claim that HexChat is demanding. I no longer see such problem on a regular PC. Let's shut down the clients instead. The normal procedure for shutting down an IRC client is to disconnect and close the application itself. This is so that you are not stuck in a system unnecessarily. But you can see here that some clients aren't really structured that way anymore. Probably not many people care. Sometimes it's really easy to disconnect, but you see, a little bit strange. Say I want to disconnect from it. Should I select close? OK. Of course, the clients must be closed properly. I've seen that some clients like to run in the background without you knowing. So it might be a good idea to keep an eye on the task manager. It's time for the judgment. Now we come to the conclusion. This is not a scientific work, but I still want to put numbers on my experiences so that it will be easier to absorb when things get quite messy. This table could have been much longer if I have found some suitable candidates for Android. I haven't been able to test all versions of those that support different operating systems, but there shouldn't be that much difference. When it comes to installing an IRC client, you can encounter various obstacles. In this test there weren't many problems, but AdiIRC was the most convenient. But all of these clients can be portable and installed on a USB stick. Setting up an IRC client can be frustrating and sometimes require knowledge of network servers and ports. But in this case it was very easy with HexChat, where everything was ready-made. To be completely honest, I chose a measurement category that is difficult to assess on my computer: performance. I couldn't see any major difference and the lag I experienced was probably on the server side. Therefore, I judged them to be equally good or bad on this measure. In future tests, you can test on an older computer, a downclocked computer, a Raspberry Pi or a computer in the cloud. Just so you know, they usually advise against HexChat on older computers. I would probably take that advice with a pinch of salt. The big difference between different IRC clients is usually how many short commands and functions are prepared. mIRC that I compare with has relatively few such functions, but it still gives an indication of whether the tested client is good or worse. HexChat and AdiIRC were really decent, and Pidgin was completely useless. IRC is based on old technology and was already around in the 90s. This is visible in both older and modern IRC clients. The strength of IRC has always been the simple design and open spaces for text. There are attempts to change the original design, but so far I have not seen anything that has been for the better. Using a protocol itself that everything is based on and making a different shell that no one recognizes may not be the right way to go. It may instead be good to change it to be easier to use for those who are not used to such interfaces. No client in this test received more than a passing grade on user design. Overall, in this test table we have two very competent IRC clients, HexChat and AdiIRC, which both were 7 points away from full pot. But for those with different needs, Pidgin and Nettalk can also be useful. You can't put that much blame on someone who wants to act like a Swiss army knife or be different. It remains for me to find competent IRC clients for Android. Maybe it's now easier to find IRC clients for iPhones. What do you think? Feel free to leave a comment. If you are not already following the channel, please subscribe. The final vignette with contact information will coming soon. I hope you had a nice time with IRC vibes, and thank you and see you soon.